is stateless session bean lifecycle in Jakarta enterprise bean, so EJB. Cycle. This figure shows the stateless session bean life cycle. There are two states: does not exist and method ready pull. To transition from does not exist to method ready pull, following occurs. New instance method is invoked, dependency injection takes place, if any. Set session context method is invoked, and the session bean method annotated as post construct or the EJB create method, if defined, is invoked. To transition from the method ready to method ready pull to the does not exist state, following occurs. The session bean method annotated as pre-destroy or the EJB remove method, if defined, is invoked, while the method ready pull state session bean methods can be invoked as the EJB timeout method if the session bean implements the timeout interface. The life cycle for EJB 3.0 and EJB 2.1 stateless session beans are identical. The difference is in how you register lifecycle callback methods. The optional EJB 3.0 stateless session bean lifecycle callbacks method you can define using annotations. For EJB 3.0 stateless session beans, you do not need to implement these methods. Here you can see the lifecycle methods for an EJB 3.0 stateless session bean. Annotation at post construct. This optional method is invoked for a stateless session bean before the first business method invocation on the bean. This is at a point after which any dependency injection has been performed by the container. Annotation at pre-destroy. This optional method is invoked for a stateful session bean when the instance is in the process of being removed by the container. The instance typically releases any resource that has been holding. The EJB 2.1 lifecycle methods, as specified in javax.ejb.sessionbean interface, that is stateful session bean, must implement. For EJB 2.1 stateful session beans, you must at least provide an empty implementation for all callbacks methods. EJB create method, the container invokes this method right before it creates the bean. Use this method to initialize non-client specific information such as retrieving a data source. EJB activate. This method is never called for a stateless bean session bean, providing an empty implementation only. EJB passive This method is never called for any stateless session being provide an empty implementation only. EJB remove this container invokes this method before it ends the life cycle of a stateless session bean. Use this method to perform any required cleanup, for example closing an external resources such as data source. Set session context. The container invokes this method after it first instantiates the bean. Use this method to obtain a reference to the context of the bean. Here, a stateless bean is a session with no conversational state. All instances of a particular stateless session bean class are identical. Here you can see does not exist interact with method ready pool, and it interacts with method and EJB timeout. Methods and EJB timeouts are passed here. New instance, then dependency injection, then set session context, then at post construct or EJB create are passed from does not exist to method ready pool. Predestroy or EJB remove is passed from method ready pool to does not exist. Here you now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.